Alfred Sangster Auditorium here at the University of Technology in Jamaica. Now, if you're just joining us, you missed an exciting third place playoff here at the Venus Invitational International Volleyball Tournament. Where the men's team 305 played the Vikings team from Jamaica. The Vikings defeated 305 3 sets. So let's take a look now at today's schedule. As I just mentioned earlier, the women's third place playoff, Sarah Noor defeated Mosa 3-0. In the third place playoff, Vikings defeated 305 out of Miami 3-0. And coming up next, we have the exciting women's final between Venus and the University of the West Indies. And later on, the men's final to close out the show, Creole versus Venus. Now, the UWI, University of the West Indies, they are the defending champions. So just let's take a look at their journey.
So the club was founded in 1995 as a part of getting the intercollegiate students more opportunity to play volleyball, so they entered the National Club League at that time. We have grown a lot because initially when we started, we were at the bottom of the tables, especially in the women's section. And we've grown to the point where we are currently the defending champions in the club league, the local club league, for almost 15 years, probably. We've also been traveling a lot around the Caribbean and have won various competitions across the Caribbean.
Our team is very dynamic. We have several players that have played on a national level, both junior and senior. And because of that, they're able to pass on information to us. Even if they're not on the court, they can tell us, this is happening, the block is open, you need to hit cross, you need to come in a little more when you're doing something. They're able to give us that experience because they have that experience from all over, playing different Caribbean countries, international teams. And our coaches are really experienced as well, so they allow us to do what we need to do to get the job done.
So preparation for Venus tournament is almost a simultaneous thing because the local club league also kicks off in a week, this weekend. So we've been preparing for that. And a few of the club girls are also students on campus, and the intercollegiate competition started off about 3 weeks ago. So we're both training and in competition at the same time going into Venus tournament. We expect to do well, but you have to look at it, what are you going to face come tournament time? What is going to be happening with your players? So it is what happens on the day of competition. You always expect your players to play well and the team to play well in general, but it will change depending on what's there.
The Venus tournament is like a breath of fresh air, so we look forward to playing the other teams, meeting new people, rekindling friendships that have developed through volleyball with people from other places. And we were sorry when it wasn't on, and we're very happy that it is on for 2018.
I've watched Venus tournaments, and they're very exciting. The clubs, Jamaican clubs, they're exciting in how they play, exciting in how they talk. And it's just interesting. I learn from seeing. So I'm excited to play. I'm excited to play against international teams. I'm just really excited to play.
So far, I've seen Venus beefing up the tournament, so I'm expecting that it's going to be an exciting one. Hopefully the teams are going to be great, so we're going to train hard here, and I hope that it'll be fun.
I'm up for the challenge. I like challenges. So the harder the team that I'm playing against, is the better I'm expected to play. So I'm ready to rise to the occasion and just to play hard and see how far we can go.
Once the day comes for us to play, you'll see your full team out there.
We're going in to play as hard as possible.
All right, now I'm joined by former national captain Tracy and Price Finley. Tracy, we just saw the University of Technology, University of West Indies there. They're the defending champions. What can we expect from them today?
They're going to bring it, like they always do. UWI is a team that I admire because they have this cohesiveness that a lot of teams in Jamaica kind of lack. And I think that is the reason why they're always on top. They really know how to win. I mean, everybody will have the same amount of skill, same amount of talent, but you have to have something deep inside of you that pushes you to win. And I think the UA club team really has that.
And what kind of challenge can they expect from this Venus team? Because they too are here in the final.
That's true. And I should say that the Venus female team has not been in the finals in a number of years. So the fact that we're here today means a big thing to us. We've actually included some players from across the world to ensure that we're a little bit more strong to compete against the likes of UA and the likes of other teams that enter the competition this year.
All right, so we're expecting an exciting game here today.
Definitely. It's evenly matched. I looked at the preliminary scores and I saw that there was only a 5-point difference between the teams. So if this match goes to 5 sets, I would not be surprised.
All right, looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Tracy.
Thank you as well.
All right, turning now over to the commentary team with Chris Taylor and Donovan Buckle.
Thank you, Shawana, and welcome to finals afternoon. We start with the ladies in the Venus International Invitational Tournament 2018. Let's have a look at the highlights of the semifinals and see how UWI and Venus got here. UWI, of course, defeated Mosa 25-18, 25-17 to get to the semifinal, to get to the final, and this was semifinal 1. Here it is. Donovan, certainly an exciting game here, one that UWI would have dominated.
Well, you have to look within the two teams that are playing. This UWI team has a whole lot of unity. They've been playing together from when, and all you have to do is just look at, because they have interjected Iko Jones in their lineup, and it's going to be a very tough game against this Venus team.
Excellent. Well, it was a comprehensive victory, 2-0 against the Mosa team from Maiko, who played early in the 3rd and 4th playoff. And here they are, good serving here as well by the UWI team. They wore yellow on that day. They will be dressed in pink today as they take on a spirited Venus team in the final. Venus, they competed in semi-final 2 against Sarah Noor, and they defeated them 25-15, 25-19. Of course, the Sarah Noor from Montreal in Canada, and they were the 3rd place winners earlier today. Here is a look at the semifinals, quite an interesting match, as I'm now joined by Tracy as well.
Hello, Chris. Yes, quite an interesting match. I'm looking forward to this match. It's going to be really exciting because both teams have the hunger for the 1st place. I mean, it's $4,000, $4,000 US. So Venus would love to keep that money in our club, and UWI would love to keep that money in their club.
And both teams with emphatic semi-final victories, both unblemished in the semi-finals, are coming to the final with 2-0 victories and an exciting encounter. Both teams with national representatives, and you'll have to say, as you mentioned, Tracy, that it will be an exciting encounter. Should be very tough for both teams.
I imagine so. There was only a 5-point difference in the preliminary matchup against these two teams.
This is the UWI team. I mentioned that in the semifinals they were wearing lime green. They're dressed in pink today, and the libero will be in the lime green. And let's have a look at their lineup. UWI started, of course, UWI, the defending champions back in 2016. Didn't have a competition last year. This is how they line up. Number 6 is Binns, 5 is Solis, 13 Jones, 15 Stain, 10 is Thomas, and 19 is Must. O'Neill Banks is the coach of UWI. You heard him earlier in our analysis chair. Of course, UWI, the defending champions. This is who they'll be coming up against, the Venus team. And my analyst beside me knows this Venus team all too well. And here is their starting lineup. Number 9, Graham. Number 7, Wallen. Number 2, Thompson. 15, Chukwa. 5 is Strotnis. And 11, Bradstock. An exciting lineup. Strotnis is actually from Latvia, the number 5 for Venus. And Chukwara, the number 15, she is from New York as well. So it's good to see that you have overseas players in the team as well. Nice to see a spread of players.
Well, Chris, what we actually did was that when the organizers from Venus contacted me and told me about getting players, we actually went far and wide. We found Shigolieva in Florida. She plays professional in Russia. Chukura, she plays at University of Maryland, well, former University of Maryland Tarpons player. And also we went for Carla Bradstock. She's a former Miss Universe Canada. Oh, really? So, you know, just getting those players here, it really meant created wonders for us, because we had to get them here to come and play in such a prestigious tournament.
Here is the UE team as well. They boast quite a few national players as well. In fact, majority of their team seem to be national representatives, Tracy.
And that's the reason why they've been winning. Kudos to them.
Yeah, 2 years in a row, this UE team, 2016 and 2015 champions. They'd like to make it 3 in a row. And this tough Venus team stands in their way.
That's right.
That is Douglas Hunter, who you saw a while ago, who was our analyst in the 3rd and 4th playoff as well, coaching in this team. He also officiated the game after that. So, jack of all trades, much like yourself.
Thanks, Chris. We do it all. We do it all.
So,
and we're all former players.
Right. I have all national representatives beside me. I'm the only local.
You should try tennis.
So the teams line off. It's good to see everybody in good spirits. Both teams will be very confident coming into this encounter. As I said, very dominated their semi-final games.
Having a level of comfort, especially with big games like this, is very important.
There's media personality Paula Porter, former national player. She won't be starting. Her daughter is actually, I think, in the starting lineup.
Number 13.
Yes, she is.
Aiko Jones.
Mother and daughter, you don't see that very often.
No, you do not. But in volleyball, you do.
Oh,
we're
really?
A family and we keep it that way.
Meet and greets. Of course, both teams will be playing for $4,000 US. That's the first place prize. A cash prize of $4,000 US and trophies to go with that. The second place will receive half of that, $2,000 US and trophies as well. And this competition has been well sponsored. Good to see sports like volleyball and so on getting that kind of attention locally. You must be happy. It must make both of you happy.
We are happy, but you know what? The sponsors don't just come on board easily. We have to present a very good package to them. And again, I mentioned earlier in another game, kudos to the executive for presenting volleyball and presenting Venus Volleyball Tournament as a fantastic package that suits the sponsors, and that they saw fit to give us some money to ensure that this tournament is a success.
Of course, Sportsmax, the media presenters, Jamaica Tourist Board, Singer, Norman Manley International Airport, Knutsford Court, OJ Coolers, Jamaica Bedding, KLAS, Highlight, Country Traders Limited, of Coffee Roasters, Rondell Village, Sunblock Awnings and Tents Limited, Adlib Studios, GC Foster, and of course right here where we are in Kingston, Jamaica, the University of Technology. All of 15 sponsors for this invitational international volleyball tournament. Excellent to see.
All right, I think, Chris, what we did actually, we went far and wide in getting all these sponsors on board. It's not just easy for us to market and sell volleyball in this country, so I think with the organizers, Rosalind Watson and Kenneth Reed, they did an exceptional job in getting these sponsors on board.
Last words from Douglas Hunter, part of the coaching staff of this Venus team. So both of you would have played in the Venus unit, obviously in 2 different leagues. What were your experiences like within the Venus camp? I'll start with you, Tracy.
Well, let me tell you, I learned about Venus tournament in the 90s. I won't say exactly which year.
Former captain as well?
Former captain, yes. But I learned about Venus tournament through my coach, my high school coach. And she was a Venus member, and she brought all her high school students to Venus tournament to take stats and to volunteer in other areas. And it's always a high tournament. I've always thought of Venus tournament as the highlight of volleyball in the year. It is like the fixture item of volleyball during the year that every single person who plays volleyball or who wants to play volleyball, fledgling as they can be, looks forward to.
Excellent, and I'll come to your take on your experience, Donovan, as we get the introduction of the players. The UE team has just been introduced. defending champions, now the Venus team. They're making their way onto the court. And of course, first player out for the Venus team, Jeline Thompson. And one by one, they'll be introduced. Excellent stuff. And the energy is certainly high within the auditorium. We can barely hear ourselves. But yes, Donovan, you were telling me about your experience with this. Of course, you now live in New York. You coach, officiate in New York. But what was your experience like here with the Venus team?
This Venus club and this Venus team, well, in our time though, is all that. Well, I am who I am right now because of this Venus volleyball club. I got a scholarship to them, I got a scholarship here, and I got a scholarship overseas also to this team. So this Venus club is all I can say is that this is my life.
I will second that. I am who I am today because of volleyball and because of Venus. So I pay homage. If you come to my house, you'll see a volleyball in my gate, you'll see volleyball in my grills, you'll see volleyball on my furniture. No, I'm serious. Volleyball is all around. I'm not joking because I have to be reminded every single day. And everybody who comes to my house needs to know that I love this sport and this sport gave me my life.
Well, it's almost action time. It's clear to me that the volleyball fraternity is very dedicated towards the sport. You see it in the sponsorship, you see it from past players becoming officials, giving back to the sport, being a part of the organizing committee, so it's good to see. And of course the players turning out. The crowd, we'll see them in the background now, massive compared to this morning. They're really coming more and more in their numbers, and we hope to see more coming as the evening goes on. We're just about ready to start. It's UWI in pink, left of screen, Venus right of screen in the white. Here we go.
That was a hit by the number 19, failed block by the Venus team.
And of course, both teams starting with the libero.
Yes, because the libero is always that defensive specialist who cleans up that entire back row. As you can see from this highlight here, it's a good set from number 16, number 9. Puts the ball down, so we get a point.
That was an unforced service error. Point to the Venus team.
And we saw in the third and fourth playoff earlier where too many service errors, a lot of unforced errors coming off the serve, especially from the Moser team. It'll be interesting to see as the game progresses and as everybody warms up, how persons will use the serve to their advantage. As we saw that it certainly in the third place playoff, it was a big asset for the victory for Sarah North.
Yes, serve will play a major role because both teams are very good at reception. Both are very good on the front row in the attack. So service will play a major role as to who will, pull apart and be victorious today.
Well, Tichelle Solis with the serve. She's actually from Belize, the UWI number 5. And there are actually 3 Belize players within the UWI squad. Tichelle Solis, one of them. Brianna Steen, another. And Clara Sabal, the number 18, she's not starting. And she's another. Number 15, who is on court, Steen. She is also from Belize.
Well, Chris, what I can actually tell you, Ika Jones is going to be the big difference with this UWI team here and versus Venus. It's because she's a very good player, and you're going to see, expect sparks to fly as soon as this game goes on.
And we should say Ika Jones is still a high schooler. She's attending Wilma's Trust for Girls and a daughter of our media personality who's also in the pink for UWI today.
Yeah. Paula's daughter in the 13. And national representative, as we said earlier. And well, we will say that from quite a few of the players who are playing in this afternoon's final. But it's good to see. We saw in the men's third place playoff that there was a junior involved as well for the Vikings team, was it, under 90. So it's good to see that the juniors are also competing at this level in the senior tournament.
Yes, yes. On the Venus team, the number 9 and the number.
Here we see the replay.
Oh.
Attempted block, not
block.
successful.
No, not successful. But on the Venus side, the number 9 who is on court right now, she is still attending St. Jago High School.
Excellent stuff. That's Tiona Graham.
That's Tiona Graham, yes. And she's been playing volleyball. That was a great block by Sasha Lee Wallen, the number 7 from Venus.
Well, just as we saw in the third place playoff, it's a close encounter to start off. UWI with the 1-point advantage at this moment, but they'll be receiving. Driving attempt, I don't think they'll retrieve that, and it will be all square. No, actually, it will put UWI up 6-4. Of course, best of 5, the final. First to 25 points in the first 4 sets must win by 2.
Yes.
And if they go to a decider, it will be a 15-point battle.
Yes. A failed attempt at attack from the UWI team. Point goes to Venus.
That was Solis on that occasion. Wallen with the serve. And again we see a spike in the middle of the net. And you wonder if maybe the set, what you say, the set or the volley wasn't high enough.
Well, that's the intention. The spike through the middle is always a quick middle, a quick spike.
So it's lower.
It's
lower
lower
in terms of trajectory.
That's
okay.
the intention.
So it's even more essential to time the jump well.
That's very good. You have to have that that relationship with the setter, you know, whether it be an eye-to-eye communication or something needs to be clicking with the setter and the middle hitter.
I saw it a lot more in the Donovan in the men's game, where the setter seemed to it's almost like a trick move that one person sets up for the spike, but he bypasses him and goes to another, almost to kind of change the formation of the defense.
Well, what they actually do is you call systems, because what you want to do, you want to trick your blockers. So that's why you'll always see more than like 3 people coming to the net every time, when, especially from a good pass. So that's what it is. So they can set anywhere they want, the setter, that is.
And both teams trying to settle at the moment. UWI with a 2-point advantage.
That number 9 is a high school player. She's been playing since she was 11. We found her when she was in primary school, in grade 6.
There it is again.
There she
Tiona
goes.
Graham with a
very good jump, very good run up for
some
that
persons
attack.
will say a kill as well, right?
That was a kill, yes.
Yeah. Spike or the kill. Ooh, again, we see a spike in the middle of the net.
Yes, I'm not sure what's going on with the UWI team today.
And it's almost as if, I know you were telling me the technique earlier, that you actually use the palm to the spike. But if you notice on those 3 occasions, the ball seems to actually be coming off the ball, like almost below the thumb, which means she's actually late.
Yeah, we actually call those roll shots. It softens, it's a softer play, so what it does, it takes the back row defense off their guard, so they can literally drop the ball in the middle of the court or just beyond the 10-foot line.
And that 10-foot line, I should say, the court is divided into 2 9 meters, right? Each side is a 9 by 9. The 10-foot line is also 3 meters from the center.
Right.
Another point for UWI. On that occasion, the spike was wide by Graham. And that is out. That will be 11-8 to UWI. And opening up a slight margin at the moment. Now 3 points.
Timeout being called by Venus, with UWI leading at 11-8.
Timeout, and of course you're allowed 2 timeouts per set per team. And are the timeouts always 30 seconds, or can you extend it?
You're always 30 seconds. When it gets to...
It's not basketball, eh?
No.
Chris, you extend at 30 seconds and then you'll be carded. Yeah,
okay. There is Douglas Hunter in the mix of things, trying to get his information across to the Venus team. They trail at this moment, but it's early days, just the first set of a possible 5. Close encounters mean even more excitement, so the crowd will be loving that.
Well, one thing for sure, Chris, is that this Venus team nor this UWI team is going to go down. So we know we're going to have a big rival game inside here today.
And of course, one of the things, I mean, we saw in the Mercer team, the coach Reed earlier was talking a lot about gelling and chemistry. I would think within these two teams, especially the Venus team, where you have quite a few players from other cultures, other nationalities, from Europe and so on, that the chemistry must take a while to be built. And that would be one of the things to see in terms of how they will gel.
That's a very good point. As opposed to the UWI team, who have been playing together for a long while, and even the players who have come from other countries, I'm not sure exactly when they entered Jamaica, but I imagine that they've had a couple training sessions more than what Venus had.
Well, they actually did. On Thursday night, where they all went through the whole rudiments of getting this team to gel well. So they've been doing well since then.
Well, the coach of UWI, Owen, was saying to me that even though a lot of the players come from, like, 3 players from Belize in the team, that was a good spike on that occasion by Venus, that they have been playing with the unit team for a long time. So even though they come from other countries and so on, they have been within the unit for a long time. So the chemistry, as Tracy was saying, will be there for that unit team, certainly.
Just a tad bit more than what Venus has,
right.
yes. That doesn't take away from the skills and the talent of the Venus players.
Agreed. Brianna Golin, who is from Canada, the number 14 for the UWI team, she is the most recent member, apparently, of the UWI team. It's actually her first tournament with them.
Also, Carla Bradstock, the number 11 from Venus, is our setter. She's also from Canada.
She's from Canada. Is the Canadian fraternity for volleyball pretty big? Because the country is big. So I wasn't going to necessarily assume that they know each other. But if the volleyball fraternity is small, then every chance of them knowing each other or playing with each other at some point.
Yeah, I think the fraternity is rather large because they have their own professional league that started like almost a year ago. So
wow. A year, so it's new days for that as well. Okay.
Right.
The under-19 male team that represented Jamaica at the North Cape Continental included a Canadian-born.
Interesting stuff. And of course, as you mentioned earlier, Canada and the US are in our zone in terms of qualification for whatever tournament we're trying to enter in terms of the World Championship.
North Cape.
Right.
That stands for North and Central America and the Caribbean Volleyball Region.
Well, US still have the slight advantage. They lead 14-12. Got to the final by defeating Mosa in the semi-final in straight sets, 25-18, 25-17. Venus, on the other hand, they got by Sarah Noor from Montreal, 25-15, 25-19. So both teams with convincing victories. So it's no surprise that the score is quite tight at the moment. Just 1 point separating the two. Good block again by the Venus team. We haven't really seen the serves necessarily, and not a lot of service points so far, aces as you like to call them. We haven't really seen any serves dominating the performance yet.
True. We haven't seen a whole lot of service errors either.
Right. Could it be that the defensive units are better technically able?
True. To receive the ball and to present an attack to the opposing side, yes.
A double call there on the libero and Sasha-Lee Wallen. We call it double contact here, so that just gives the point to UWI.
And of course, on that occasion, you see the referee put 2 fingers in the air, almost saying peace.
That's right.
And most of the time, you find that it's the setters that are guilty of that.
Yes, because
no, go ahead.
they touch the ball, well, they have to volley, and most times when a double contact is called, it's between the fingers, like if it touches one hand and then the other, and the setter is the one who does that the most.
Here was a successful dink. I love the dink.
Indeed.
That was by the Venus team, the number 7 for Venus as well, Sasha-Lee Wallen.
The dink can be very effective, especially if you approach the ball as if you're about to give a hard spike and then change mid-air and do a soft touch with the dink.
There's another one. Certainly a good spike off the ball. Tiona Graham, and we've seen it there again. Just a junior, attends St. Jago High School. When she smashes
like
the ball, there's no
older.
junior in her.
No junior in her. Oh no, oh no, oh no.
The score is all square, 16-all, the final of the Venus International Invitational Volleyball Tournament 2018.
There we saw a service error from the number 5 on the Venus side.
Elga Strasnes.
Of course, the UWI team, the defending champions, and there is the National Jones, daughter of Portland Porter, with a service winner. And just as we spoke about not seeing many service winners, one comes out of the blue.
Popped up.
18-16 now to UWI.
The libero on the Venus side, number 18, who passed that ball so perfectly. I remember back in 2004, I believe, might have been her first time representing Jamaica at the senior level, where she received both the best receiver and the best defensive player award at the Caribbean Championship that was held in Barbados.
Oh, what a kill by Jones. Jones, a junior as well, attends Woolmer's Girls. And as I was hearing earlier, Woolmer's have been the defending champions in the high school competition for many a year.
For like 3 decades. I was a part of the first. Well, you know, let me stop talking. I'm not going to say how long ago.
All right, a kill by Samantha Shakura from Venus. Gives them a point.
19-18 now to UWI, but the serve will be with Venus. Tiona Graham leads the kills category for Venus. No surprise there. The youngster from